It's crunch time in Virginia. Up for grabs, governorship in one of the country's most contentious swing states. Both Republican Ken Cuccinelli and Democrat Terry McAuliffe have called in the big guns, hoping political star power can clinch them the election.
It's a very interesting election here as well, as we really have two of the most subpar candidates from most people I speak with, and you know, most of the reports you get, all the rest.
Democrat Terry McAuliffe is facing off against Virginia Attorney General Ken Cuccinelli.
The ex-governor of Virginia calls in some presidential firepower.
And what's been the biggest difference here? The government shutdown.
And Domenico, the shutdown has hurt the Republican Party's brand in the state of Virginia.
But when voters head to the polls on Tuesday, they will have not two, but three choices for governor.
I'm Rob Sarvis. I'm running for governor. Would love to have your support on Tuesday.
Meet the dark horse of the governor's race, a Libertarian candidate who takes political stumping back to its traditional roots.
Would love to have your vote on Tuesday.
Hey, thank you very much.
Let me know if you have any questions.
You're the Libertarian guy.
I am. Yeah. Nice to meet you.
Yeah, nice to meet you.
Yeah.
Nice to meet you too.
Yeah, I hope to get your vote Tuesday.
Yeah, you guys feel like the underdog.
Unlike his other two well-established competitors, Robert Sarvis doesn't have the name recognition or the funds in order to be able to buy vast amounts of airtime in order to get his message out there. Instead, he comes to places like the Dulles Town Center, where he shakes hands and gets to know voters one by one. And that is how he plans to win the Virginia governor's race.
There's a palpable sense that the Republican and Democratic parties are no longer governed in the public interest.
He's already put more than 13,000 miles on his van during this campaign season. This weekend's final push had the 37-year-old, his family, and his volunteer staff renting an RV and driving to every end of Virginia in one last push to win over voters.
If you want a Virginia that's open-minded and open for business, you have someone to vote for. If you want to get cronyism and corporatism out of government, you have someone to vote for. If you want someone who is answering questions honestly and substantively and who's running a positive campaign, and you want to end politics as usual, you have someone to vote for, and that's me, Robert Sarvis.
But relaying that message hasn't been easy. Sarvis has raised a fraction of what his two competitors have made. Much of the money pouring into Cuccinelli and McAuliffe's campaigns have been focused on attack ads, something Sarvis refuses to do. Despite his limited funds, Sarvis is setting himself up to be the most successful third-party candidate in Virginia in 20 years. Sarvis has polled at a steady 10% throughout his campaign. Because of this, Republicans in the state have warned that he could spoil the election for Ken Cuccinelli by stealing votes.
If I'm spoiling the results for the Republicans and Democrats, that can only be a good thing. They've essentially spoiled the system, the political system. They've closed off the political market, and they've allowed cronyism to infect our government.
Even if he doesn't win Virginia's election, he could make history. And it all comes down to one line in Virginia election laws. It says that if Sarvis garners 10% of the total vote, the Libertarian Party will be allowed on the ballot without petitions, and the candidate will be allowed to participate in debates until 2016.
There's a lot of people that won't show up as a protest or would just, you know, throw their vote away or whatever else, but to actually physically cast the lever for Sarvis and him to reach that threshold, yeah, that would be monumental, and I think then the Virginia race could be a bellwether for everything I spoke about in 2016 actually maybe happening earlier.
Potentially paving the way for another Libertarian candidate to win in the future. In Sterling, Virginia, Meghan Lopez, RT.